everybody? Welcome back to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. Okay, so we have server reset, so yay. Not server, I mean daily reset. Server reset, daily reset. So now I'm just going to go ahead and cover this in my topic today. And I'm not excusing it. I'm just stating once again, I'm reconfirming, I'm readdressing that I'm an ass. I keep telling people this. Like I am. I'm like I'm trying ugh. It's like, listen, I wholeheartedly admit the way I am. It doesn't mean I don't like people. It doesn't necessarily mean I have no I don't base any personal relationship on, how things need to be conducted, if this makes sense. Okay, I look at things in a sense of what is and how it should be. Okay, they're just the way I'm built. I know, like people will say, but this and but I'm like, there's a lot of buts in the world. Okay, there's a lot of buts. To me, those are just like I understand them. I acknowledge those buts, but I once again reintegrate. Can we? Because it's about the goal. Okay, it's just like there's always room for improvement. There's always room to get results, and I feel like you have to take a person like me doesn't care about popularity. Okay, I don't really care if people like or hate me. Typically, I don't, um, because it's inconsequential. There's no like there's I think there's pros and cons to everybody is what I'm saying. We all have things that we're good at, things that we're bad at, a good side and a bad side. What up, Irish? How you doing, brother? I think we all have different sides to us, right? And that doesn't make us bad people, right? It's just saying like we're built different, right? I always tell people I have an appreciation for the people who can where I can't. Even if I can, I have an appreciation. What did I miss? Last stream, I actually had to call my ISP provider and I streamed the conversation because every morning I have a fluctuation. It only occurs in the morning. It doesn't occur in the afternoon. It doesn't occur during peak times. And I have a higher tier service, the highest, um, without having to go like commercial service. So I have the highest speeds available to the public without having to pay for commercial service. So I have a demanding expectation. Now the quality of service is exceptional, giving the connectivity, but the consistency is, and I let things try to run their course. If but if there's no resolution, then I'm a type of person I nip it in the butt. That's how I'm built. That's how I've been groomed, I guess you'd say. And I guess it is a grooming thing because it's just the way I was raised and brought up and how to get results. It's just like, it sucks though, because it comes at a price. It does. It comes at a price, a very hefty one. Because first thing, I want to tell people, like a lot of times you're raised to, you're either socially accepted or socially recluse or what. There's a lot of whatever. For a person like me, if we're socially accepted, cool. If we're socially rejected, don't give a shit. It's just like at the end of the day, it's about putting forth the best you can to get results. That's just how I'm groomed. It's just the way it is in everything I did, whether it be recreational or professional, and even recreational. And it puts a different spin on things, like get better, get better. Oh snap! You had to do that again. I did, but this time I streamed it. You should send them an email of all the times you had to do that on stream. That's why I streamed it, because they were like, this call may be recorded for quality assurance purposes. I'm like, great, this is being streamed for quality assurance purposes. And one person, this troll, was like, you're so immature. But I actually conducted myself in a way where it was direct but not demeanoring to the associates, because the associates can't really do anything. They don't know what's going on majority of the time. They're following protocol. And I've worked in a related field, similar, where I understand how protocol is laid out. And of course, they're just doing their job. Unfortunately, their job doesn't resolve these occurrences. And that was my whole point. Was like, you're going to send out a technician, he's going to run it, and nothing's going to be found. So what's the next course? And better yet, is this an isolated incident? You know, and I feel like a lot of people sometimes don't get that it's the way I'm built. I'm an ass. I am. I'm just an ass. I expect these things to happen. And it goes to the same thing like with ESO. Like some of my insight is part of the elements of my group, like how I've been conducted to evaluate things. And it's not good, but at the same time, it's productive. It can be productive. And that's, at the end of the day, what I'm always saying. I'm like, listen, it's all about results. And you get hated on, you do. And it's like, but at the end of the day, I'm also conditioned not to care whether or not people accept that. And that's a huge price within itself too. Like, some of the problem with my family is we're not even social to each other. I went into a meeting and someone's like, isn't your family? I'm like, yes, that is my family. I don't associate with my family. And that's sad. It's sad but true. And it's just like, I feel like that's a part of how we are. It's so sad. It's like, it sucks. You know, it's not a good thing, but it's a part about being expected to have those, you know, that expectation about being, you have to eliminate competition through resolution, right? Being competitive is one thing, but whoever can produce the best results always is going to be the victorious, you know, or the dominant. And it's like, oh, it sucks, man. It really sucks. And sometimes that's why I put on the Discord, I'm like, I hate the way I'm built. You know, I honestly do at times. My wife, when we worked together, I was up for my promotion prior to she was. And we were very both equal producers in our field. My wife was like, why is it you versus me? And I was like, honey, I wouldn't. Now, my wife did move on, and she actually stayed with the company longer than I did. And she did great things for the company. So she really did get to show people her value at that time. And I felt, like I said, we have both similar backgrounds. That's what pisses me off about ESO. I'm paying a very high price for internet. The only thing I've ever had issues with at ESO, I can get 40 frames with WoW on a Dell laptop. Right? No, it's true. It's latency. It's all about, you know, the server end. You know, if your ISP connection and everything's fine on your end, what the fuck is the problem? Well, it comes back to, and there should be accountability. Yeah, and that's the problem. Nobody wants to take accountability, right? Everybody wants to pass the buck, but at the end of the day, see, that's where I differ from other people. Like, the buck stops here. That's my mentality. My grandfather was such a, you know, like, people don't get it, man. I tell people, you don't understand. Like, I can make excuses all day, but my family, they don't fucking hear it. They don't. My brother to this day, he's successful at what he does because of that demanding quality. It's like I can make excuses all day, but we have to take responsibility. We have to put it on our shoulders to be able to get the results we're desiring. But that's the problem with ESO. Like, they're not denying nor confirming, well, up until this point, didn't confirm the issues. And that's funny to me because how many people trolled me and it's like, oh, my connection works great. It must be your PC or whatever. I'm like, dude, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I'm like, I've been doing this a long time, like testing for companies. I'm working in sales, and you know, a lot of the things I had to do, I had to be integrated in technical aspects with my job too. I'm like, yeah, I did, work at a bank. I worked in financial products and services, but I had to deal with a lot of tech because we was there during all the integration changes. But yeah, so you have to be a little savvy in the tech field, even if you're not working directly with it. You have to be a little understanding of it. Because at the end, it does affect your business. But yeah, no, you're right, dude. Scott, dude, what's up, dude? I've been missing you. I've been worried about you. I've been talking about you. I'm like, I hope Scott's okay. How you been, brother? I hope everything's going good. Hope all is well, man. At it. Scott, you know what it's like. Here's a man who understands, I would say understands my frustration. And Scott, you are probably one of the most nicest, but yet honest, upfront individuals I know. You know what it's like to have to play that role. To be the bad guy. It's not easy, is it? It's not easy, is it, Scott? You do it for a living. It's not always easy to have that burden placed on your shoulders, right? To demand results and literally have the excuses just dropped. I think you can honestly, give an objective here if there is one to be made. Because honestly, I know what you do for a living, and I give it up to you. It's funny, the devs have pretty much said the performance is lacking. We understand all these changes don't mean anything if performance isn't there. That's what they said. Well, yeah. But their hands are tied, and I always tell people, I don't blame the devs. I can't. I can't blame any, whatever. I'm so glad you stopped in, Scott. Dude, you just made my day. If anything, you just made my day just stopping in. I've been good. Work's been crazy. I have been talking a game from all games. No, never easy. It's not, is it, brother? It is not easy at all. Because I don't... Oh, one second. All right. Taking a break, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, brother. I've been worried about you, man. I literally was like, I hope everything's good with Scott, you know? But yeah, like, you know, it like in the position like of what like you do, for example, Scott, there's like times that you have to demand something, right? That isn't always, you know, so clear cut. There is a shade of gray there, but it still has to be requested, doesn't it? It still has to be presented. You know, and I tell people, I'm like, listen, when you're groomed to do it, it's even harder. It presents a very difficult positioning because you're almost like emotionally numb from it. It's like you're literally taught like nothing else matters. It's all results. Like, even, like, I always tell people, like, I couldn't even make an excuse up if I fucked up. Yeah, no matter how far you advance in a job, you actually always have a boss that demands more. Right. And when you're in a position like what you have and other people have, I think they always think of it like, oh, it must be nice. But I tell people that has its burden. It has its burden. It's not always so like, oh, look at it. He's got the job of being the boss, and oh, this must be great because I'm like, no. It don't go down like that. It don't, because like, there's times that you have to be an asshole because there's always somebody over you demanding, like you said, demanding more, expecting more, and being like, hey, you know what? We did good. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And that's the way the world works. And when you're put in a position, I like tell people, I remember when my job was just so simple, right? When all I had to do was, and I didn't have the expectation other than. And I'm like, but when you rise to the position, the expectations just keep piling. Right? And you are the target of ridicule at all times from your peers and from your subordinates. Because if something goes wrong, it's not on your subordinates, it's on your head. Right or wrong. And everybody's like, why are you an asshole? I was positioned to be one. You're groomed to be one. You are groomed to it. I always tell people, if you want to be a nice guy, don't be that. Don't do it. People always think the boss has it easy. Nah, more work and bigger headaches. Right, it sucks. I tell people, no, man, it blows. Imagine going into I'm like, you beg for conference meetings. You beg for them. Because when you have to go into the actual meeting itself, fingers just start going flying everywhere. Second.
Violate.
All right, We're trying to figure out something. My daughter, like I said, my daughter has prom tonight. Oh, shit.
Soleil, hang on. Es Zona.
Oh, shit. I'm dead. I have always been a nice boss to work for, but I expect results, and if people don't perform to my expectations, I have to be not so nice, boss. But you gotta do it, right? You have to do it. I fucked up there. I don't even know if I can get res. Dude, you got an ice thing behind you. Behind you. Samurai's got to finish strong. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Like, you have to be like, and the thing about it is, if you're, like I always tell people, like, I try to be productive. I want to be an encouraging individual when, you know, I've taken on that role in the past. But I understand that you have to be, like my brother, you know, is in certain ways a lot more whatever. I try not to build personal relationships in a professional environment, right, in the past. Now I don't do anything like that anymore, so it doesn't really affect me. But unfortunately, because you don't want people to, sometimes you have to make hard decisions, and you don't want to have to make those decisions to people that you typically have, you know, some sort of connection with. And it's unfortunate, but it's true, because then it makes it that much harder. But I will never ask an associate to do something that I wouldn't do myself. Amen, brother. Amen. I spend a lot of time in the trenches with my associates, and I've earned their respect. My people work hard for me. Right. And that's something else that my grandfather had always implemented. Never ask someone to do something that you can't do yourself. And if they have a position that, there's different industries that you have specializations, right? That it's almost impossible for everybody to do everything because they have a different background. So if you're put in a position that you're overseeing something that you're not familiar with, don't be, you have to understand at least what they are required to do and be practical about it. So let's say you know, I'm overseeing, I'm just giving out something for an example, medical. I'll take my brother's job for an example. My brother's in the medical field. But you know, one of his jobs is, you know, working with doctors. Now he's not a doctor. He's not a doctor. He does have a medical license, but he's not a doctor. So he has to understand that the specializations of physicians that he is, you know, taking or, you know, hiring, he's got to be aware of their position. That makes you a good boss, right? And he has to be understanding of their position. Now he is to a degree because of his background, but he himself is not a doctor. So he's like, I have to be aware of what I'm asking of those physicians. I have to be aware of what I'm asking of those physicians. even though I don't have that specialization. And each physician itself has a different specialization. So one doctor isn't the same as all doctors. So that's kind of an example. So when he asks something of the physicians, he has to be at least somewhat versed in what he's asking for and the practicality behind it and any objections that the physician has. So there's a lot in every field that has to be taken in. Like even a physician would tell you, like a surgeon. What's the difference between, an MD and a surgeon? A lot. A lot. There's a big difference. But once again, we have to be aware. We have to be able to do certain things for ourselves. We have to set an example, and I agree with you 100%. You have to be able to set examples. You have to be able to get in the trenches. You have to be able to earn the respect of the people that work under you. Like you said, get your hands dirty. Get in there. Get in there. Just get in there. Try to raise the bar for yourself, and your associates will respect you. I agree. I totally agree with that. I always tell people I don't appreciate the people in life who exploit the labor of others, who are unwilling to educate themselves to become further. But let's take a look at Steve Jobs, for example. Steve Jobs was never a programmer. Oh, hell no. 1 second. All right, what's up? I'm back. Sorry, my daughter. So things are juggling. Blah, 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 blah. No, but I agree. So there are, like Steve Jobs. Let's talk about my daughter called. Steve Jobs was a person who worked in tech, but he never programmed. He wasn't a programmer. And a lot of the people that he worked for or with, like when they, came up with Apple, he was a man of vision, right? He saw the opportunities that presented themselves and tried to correlate them in a way that innovated the industry. Now, I honestly think that Steve Jobs went a little overboard in his demands. I felt like he was a little more than eccentric at times. But his perspective paved the way for a lot of innovation. And same thing with Bill Gates, but Bill Gates definitely has a little bit more tech, experience behind him. Now, the thing about it is, when we take a look at these individuals, at some point they had to run the business. But they had to be demanding. They had to understand that they asked a lot from their employees, from their staff. And it comes at a price because, you know, unfortunately, people are going to be demanding of them, you know, the investors and all this other shit. They're like, you know, where's this? Where are we good on that? You know, there's just so many things. Personally, the way I look at it, I like capitalism for competitive market. In a competitive world, I really like capitalism because it makes things better for the consumer at the end of the day. From a business model, that's where I struggle with the resolution of capitalism. Because unfortunately, in capitalism, you need capital, initial capital, to do what? Influence the market. And that can be an associated problem initially. So it's like capitalism's good for the results that it produces, right? And that's where I'm a big pro-capitalism kind of guy. I'm like, yes, you know, at the end of the day, we're affecting change in market trends. But to get there, capitalism kind of is its own demise. It's like, because without, when you need the initial capital to influence the market, it is sometimes a resilient. It's not productive because of it. It's anti-productive. Yeah, it's like, and that's what we get. I always say, you know, there's so many things that like our culture can do if we weren't chained to money. Well, it's like money is our chain. It's limiting the potential. It limits its potential. It's good because it incentivizes market. It's good because it gives incentive. But it also restricts the possibilities that we can accomplish. So, you know, it's catch-22 within itself, isn't it? It's like, you know, it's like, you know, it's never easy. You know, there's a pros and cons associated to everything. And I tell people that, and at least you got to be insightful with that, right? You got to be insightful. Like, imagine this. Scott, I don't know if you're still here. I hope you are. Imagine, like, doing your job at an associate's pay rate. Who would want the position? A lot of people might think it's good, but you've been there. Would you want to do your job without any additional incentive? I think we all can answer that with a resounding no thank you. You know, maybe I'm wrong, but unless we had incentive to actually take on that burden, why would we subject ourselves to that? Would any normal human being want to take on more responsibility with no incentive? Right? Who would want to? Who would want to take on more responsibility for less incentive? Or no incentive, I should say. You know? That's the problem, isn't it? That becomes the issue. That becomes the, you know, where everything has to be made. I'm still here, and hell no. I thought you would say that. I know what you go through. When you clock out, you don't clock out. You're not really clocked out, Scott. You think you are, but you're not. Your job is your shadow. But imagine from an owner's perspective or CEO's perspective. Now, another problem I have is the entitlement of position. So a lot of times what we see is a person who is good at what they do. And I'm not, they're judging them or judging that, a certain individual could do their position better. They've acquired their position for whatever reason. I'm not one to go ahead and, place judgment based on their acquisition necessarily. Now, sometimes I am, because there are certain people who gain their position who necessarily aren't necessarily the right person for the job. Let's put it in that perspective. But now you have a person that's put in their current position through whatever means, and all of a sudden there is a sense of the entitlement that goes above the standard. And I think everybody knows where I'm going with this. With CEOs making multi-millions that literally are exploiting their company. And at the end of the day, they don't give a shit if their company succeeds or sinks, so long as they secured their best interest. But it isn't in their best interest, because I always tell people, you want the company to succeed, because so long as the company is fruitful, you retain your position. So for an example, what's more profitable? Somebody making $14 million in 1 year and a company sinks, or somebody making $1 million a year but has a 20-year tenure? What becomes more profitable? Right? Which perspective sounds more lucrative in the long-term sense? So true. Seems like every time we would game together, my job would keep calling me, yeah, dude, you're attached. They've got you on lockdown. You're committed. You're married to your job. I think that place would fall apart if they couldn't contact you. Like, shit, we can't get a hold of him. We're doomed. It's the apocalypse. That one time was really serious, though. I was like, oh, shit. Like, yeah, dude. Yeah, that one time was woof. I was like, wow, dude. I give it up to you. But, it comes back to it. Like, I keep trying to reiterate to people, like, I'm an asshole. I keep trying to tell people, I'm like, listen, I am an asshole. I get it. Sometimes I felt a little, like, voided, like, in the void of when I was in certain things. Like, I remember I worked for a certain project. Let's just put it this way. I'll keep all parties' names and associations like as speculative as possible. But there was a project that I was involved with, and it had to deal with a particular product that we were contracted to, push, I guess. Well, anyways, so I wasn't in direct with this product, but at the end of the day, it came up about the association with legal guidelines. that were, you know, not meeting certain federal regulations, I guess you'd say. And I had warned my colleagues that this was going to happen because of the way it was being done by the contracted parties. And of course, it was like, oh, you're overreacting. You don't. There's always a way around these things, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah. Because why? Why would we have to why does our company have to follow the rules? I mean, that's absurd. All right. There's not going to be any liability there. No, absolutely not. And, sure as shit, within like a year later, bad shit fell. Now, like I said, I wasn't associated. The company I was working for at the time was associated. So, thank God there was no whatever on me, but disciplinary actions were enforced within the company, to the company, I should say, not within the company, to the company. And I'm just like, I told you guys, I fucking told, and there I am rubbing it in everybody's face. I told you. Oh, I mean, how does anybody forget the one thing that we're taught? And that's, I don't know, the law. We're warned. We're warned when we have to take all these federal and state tests and things, and and we have to, now they're requiring us to take I don't know, all of our shit on ethics. Now we're getting increased ethics classes and shit. I'm like, why don't anybody just goddamn listen? Why? Why? I'm like, it's not hard. Just, we're required by the federal government to, take all these updated law classes and shit too. I was like, oh my God. You guys are just, it's reasons that these are put in place. But once again, even if a company can get around it, they might try to find loopholes, but sometimes you're only cheating yourself in the end. You're only cheating yourself. Don't fucking do it, is my point. And I have no problem rubbing it in other people's faces too. And my boss was like, "Boy, you're just sitting there with a bag of salt behind your desk, aren't you?" I'm like, no, that's not true. That's totally not true. No. I don't have salt. I have a canister of repellent. I was like, oh God, it's terrible. It's god awful. Oh no. Okay, red. Aha. So white's gonna be next. We're all gonna die. How does DPS not say hello to, like, the hourglasses? Did we get them all? Okay, should be coming up, or I need to hit the white. Perfect. Oh! The whole thing wiped. So true. Seemed like every time we would game. Oh yeah, I already read that. Sorry. Gonna open this up. Crazy, man. What happened? Mechanic failure. Oh, you can wipe on raids. It can happen. It's real. Oh, snap. I might want that. Oh, my 10% boof wore off too. Hopefully I have enough. That did cost quite a bit last time. I don't think I'm going to get that next one. I can't look at it while I'm in here. Fuck. Red. Death. Oh, nice. Perfect. Okay, white. It should be coming up soon. Just want to stay right by this dude really. Okay, over here. God dang. Got frozen too. Shit. Right when I was hitting it. I'm on A team. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. He does lawn care. So, we should all do videos on what we do for work. Like you said, Mystic, it would be an interesting look behind the scenes. I always wondered what Hop does for a living. He's in like landscaping and all this other type of shit. So, like, yeah, I mean, I always, funny thing about, it's always weird for me. Like I don't really get in a lot of my personal life as much as possible. Like I give people like insides. Like I like Despotic. Like he does the whole little drive to work thing and whatever. But for me, I don't know. Like I don't know. I think everybody should be if you feel comfortable. I think it's interesting. I feel like there's a lot of people I got to meet in the world that I didn't even think. Like I remember one time meeting my friend online, and he's I forget what his title is, but he does the implants, like the dental implants. I don't know if it's like a dental surgeon or the exact, but I met him in gaming. I didn't even know he did that. I knew the dude for like years in online gaming. I didn't know he did that. I honestly didn't have a clue. I had no clue. I was like, what? And one time he just brought it up. He was just like, yeah, work's been crazy. But you know how it goes. It's like, oh, work's been crazy today. Oh, dude, I hope you had a better day. La, 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 la. I don't care what people do. And most of the time, I view people as like, cool deal, And one time he brought it up. He's like, man, I had this poor woman today that I had to, work with. And I'm like, oh, I mean, is everything okay? And he's like, well, it's just, she was so young to have this type of procedure. And I'm like, dude, what are you? He's like, I never told you what I do for whatever. I'm like, no. He's like, what? How many years? And I was like, we've known each other about 2 years. And he's like, dude, I do dental implants. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, I never told you that. I'm like, does it matter? He's like, no, I guess it doesn't. I'm like, whatever. But yeah, I've met some crazy people. Do all different sorts of things. Mechanics, drivers, truck drivers. I don't know how they game because they're always gone. Well, I guess like my dad was a truck driver. My dad was a semi driver. And like my sister right now. My sister's been in a service industry. They're up until recently. So, and then me, I used to work in the insurance industry and financial institutions and shit like that. But those days are long gone, long gone. And now my wife too. So, I mean, Damn dangerous too. Crocs everywhere. Yeah, he's in Florida too. So, he's busy. Yeah. Hop is definitely busy. I don't know about the Crocs. I've never been to Florida. I have never been to Florida, ever. I've traveled as far as south as Georgia, which I love fucking Georgia. I used to live in South Carolina for a very short period of time. I've been out west a little bit. I've never been to, like, California. Though I have, family in New Mexico, but I've never been out that way either. But I've been in Indiana, Illinois. I've never been out by your state either, dude. My brother has. I got a delay, to do my video. We got a few military contracts here at the moment. But when those ship out, I can do it. Nice, dude. Awesome. I think it's a good thing, like, if you want to do it. Like, I feel like, if you kind of want to give people insight. I mean, it's a good thing because I feel if that's something you're comfortable with, Like, a lot of people ask, like, my wife was wanting me to do a camera, for example, and like getting a video cam since I'm more on PC. She's like, have you ever thought about it? I'm like, well, I was on PlayStation when I started, so I never really did think about it initially. because I was just a, I was a PC. I was you know, a PlayStation player. So it didn't really affect me. Person's out of... Get... There. I did a good deed trying to help somebody. And I got poisoned. New trucks have internet. They have... Oh, dude, that's a good point. Like, I never understood how truck drivers could do it. My dad was a truck driver. Like, my background is just weird. Everything in my life is weird. I don't even like talking about my life much. Most of my life is chaotic, too, with kids. I think we all get there, right? I think we all get there about, what we do, what we don't, and what you're comfortable talking about, what you're not. I don't know. But I feel like maybe one day, like, you could bear, like, maybe I could bear everything. My life story is so complex. Like, honestly, I feel like taking my life and putting it into a movie wouldn't even justify some of the crazy shit. Like we talked about, I think gamers have this image of sitting in a basement eating Cheetos, right? Drinking Mountain Dew. Hey, I've had Mountain Dew benches. Don't underestimate Mountain Dew benches when you're gaming. That caffeine comes in handy on weekends. Now, don't do it throughout the weekday, though. I think people would be surprised at what I do for work. Oh, dude, totally, And I feel like, that's something that, a lot of people like. There was somebody who talked about PvP but like, he's busy and stuff. And he was literally showcasing, like, I don't have time to be good at ESO. I play ESO to have fun, not to be, this get good. But hey, look at my body. Look what I'm into. I'm into physical health and stuff. And I thought that was kind of cool. Oh, that bastard. Why isn't this coming up? Is it cycled yet? Mountain Dew is gross. Yeah, you shouldn't drink Mountain. Well, I'm not gonna. Why? We can't kill the boss. Somebody didn't hit the portal. Everybody got knocked off. Okay, there it is. There it is. There it is. Why do I have aggro? No, I'm gonna die. Look at this. Is anybody else hitting this thing? Of course I get sucked in. Oh my god, we can't be friends anymore. Mountain Dew is life. I'll tell you what, my friend, now we also worked together in the past, and he's still in banking. And he plays ESO. He is an MMOer. He has, a very, very busy life. He tries to juggle it all, his internet, life and everything else. And he's a lot more busier than me because his daughter's younger. And he's a really good friend of mine, very good friend of mine. And I love him to death. And, he's the type of person that, he's just like, when you see him in in his work environment, he's very professional. right? He's a bank manager, and he is very professional. He's very, but then all of a sudden he gets home and he gets to let his hair down, and then you get to see sides of him that you'd be like, no fucking way. And I was like, yeah, that's real. So like, those are the moments that you're really, you know. I actually like Dr. Pepper too. I'm not much big pop drinker. I will drink pop or soda or whatever you want to call it. Did B do the fucking belly or not? We're dead. We're fucking dead. Something's amiss. Something just got fucked. There's his puke. Nope, I don't want that. Oh my god, this is bad. Why am I on the wolf's banes? Oh my god. Okay, Mystic. Your DPS sucks. God, son of a bitch. I'm always the one getting pounced. It never... How am I always the one? It's like, there's a bunch of people out here, but, you know, hey, man, I know Mystic, you got all these macros, and you're trying to be all fancy. I'm going to pounce your fucking ass. No, 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 not me, not me, not me. Ah, thank God. Good job. See, there's always a bunch of new players, man. Oh, what? No. Hate it. No way, man. I was on the side of that bitch. It's a lie. That was close. Somebody missed it almost. Alright. Looks good. And I leveled up. And I leveled up. Did I level up? I think I leveled up. I think I leveled up. Let's see. I was thinking about jumping on and resurrecting StamDK. Need to get a new controller. My left thumbstick is giving me some major issues. Yeah, I had that happen with my joystick. Deadly Strike is really good on DK. Running Swamp Raider. Yeah. Because now it's selling for more like 20K. You know I did. Cool. I got Weapons and Jewelry for like 6K total. I was shocked to see the price now. Yeah. Price drops. Yeah, I bought it when it was way too low. I knew it was going to be amazing on the DK. Yeah, DK is really good with Swamp Raider. Always has been. Same thing with Blades. Blades are kind of getting... I think Stand Blade's going to be changing quite a bit for gameplay functionality. I mean, not DK, Nightblade. Oh, what? I hadn't done this one. Whoa, 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 run, run, run. Oh my god, get there quick. The imposter. I'm stuck. No, 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 no. Sweet. Something that simple. 3K. Oh my god, I knew it. I was like, dude, I think that's the easy one. There it is. 15K and I'll have my regalia. And I get my tickets tonight. Oh my god, I'm 15K away. 15 fucking K from having my regalia. Oh my god, I can't wait. And I'm 66. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, come to daddy. Come to daddy. It's going to be good. It's going to be good, 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 good. So I still got to do, did that. Got to do the trial. I could probably do a main scenario later. I got to do this one. And I got to get some more currency. Because I'm still quite a bit away from having the weekly done. Which I got like 2 days. So to get that 900 cap, that's not too bad. 205. So it's looking good. It's looking good. I'll have it. By tomorrow morning, I will have my regalia. By tomorrow morning. And here's another thing I want to stress, Scott. If you haven't done it, because you have plenty of time, you have another like 3 or 4 weeks to get your regalia. Is your achievements. Go to the, or not achievements, challenge log. Go to the challenge log and then hit gold saucer. If you do these challenges in a week, they reset weekly. So they reset the same day on Tuesday. And like the only one I got is the Monjon player matches. I got to do that. And that's in here once you unlock Monjon. You can go to gold saucer and then go to Monjon ranked. And that's what you do. And that's only one, and I'll get 5,000 gil. You'll get your bonus gil for completing the challenge, and these add up quite a bit. And then Saturdays, even if you just do it once, but you do this the showing, even if you don't like go get the pieces, you get 10, but you can earn up to 60,000 MGP on this event just alone. So you can get up to 60,000. You got to spend some gil, but earn 60,000 MGP here. Do the weekly challenges that yields thousands, and then the tickets upstairs. They have a chance. Nice, Mystic. Yeah, congrats, Mystic. Yeah, I'm pumped. I'll have that 4-seater. 14% to physical damage, poison, and disease. Even your DB hits hard. Great set. Yeah, dude. On Swamp Raider, they did change it. I mean, it's been changed. But like when I first started using it, see what I'm talking about? Do you guys see my point? You see my frustration? Anybody just catch that? Did anybody just see it? It was like a second. Poof. Done. Like the connection was stable. It just went poof. Does anybody see it? Oh my god. Like, it doesn't show you're disconnected. Yeah, it doesn't. It fucking doesn't. Well, I'm off to GameStop to get me a new controller. Dude, order yeah, you might not be able to wait. But dude, I'm serious, like get it online. They're so much cheaper. Oh, and bleed damages, right? Yeah, dude, I used to get that shit to proc off that enchantment, and it got nerfed. The enchantment shit, they fixed it. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna exploit it. If it's not working as intended, well, it shouldn't have been done it anyways, the way it was designed originally. But yeah, oh, whatever. Fuck it. Fuck it. And then people are like, you got it nerfed. I'm like, why is it me that got it nerfed? Why did I get it nerfed? I didn't get it. Man, whatever. Cloud of Darkness. I think I have both of these cards, so yeah. It's cool. All right, I got to cut the stream, but thank you too for stopping in. Good conversation pieces today, man. Just overall, this is why I love gaming with you guys, man. You know, honestly. And like I said, I don't hate any specific product or anything. I just tell people, man, I'm going to call bullshit if I see bullshit, you know? And people have to understand I'm built that way. If I see it for what it is, I'm going to call it. And people may hate me for it, but it's the way it is. If I say there's a problem here, it needs to be looked at, it needs to be resolved, don't pass the buck. Don't act ignorant enough to be like, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, prove me wrong then. If I don't know what I'm talking about, prove me wrong. You know, I have no pride. I will swallow that pill. But anyways, you guys have a good day. I've been buying those weekly tickets. I'm not getting that car unless I hit the jackpot. No, dude, listen. Okay, Cal. All you have to do is the challenge log weekly. You'll earn, if you do this challenge log for the Golden Saucer, you get thousands. Like this one, win 10 triple triad matches, 8,000. Play 10, 5,000. If you just do the little thing here, that's 10,000. You can get it just by doing the dumb things, and that's it. The little dumb things will get you like literally quite a bit of MGP. Like certain mini games, I don't mind either. Like this cliffhanger one, that's not so bad. That's where you save the chocobo. I think. Yeah, save the chocobo chip. This one can be somewhat annoying, I'm not going to lie to you, but it's not bad. So cliffhanger, all you have to do is avoid bombs. See, there's a bomb. Not going near it. Now I go. There will be another bomb here. Wait for it to explode. Go. There's a bomb. Now this part can be a bit of a pain. There's a bomb. Wait. Blow. Go. Bomb. Wait. Blow. There it is. See what I'm saying, dude? It's not bad, man. And then I just earned 3K. Just, that's it, dude. That's all. Like, the gates will earn you 3K, roughly around 3K if you get them complete. The which way the wind blows is basically all RNG. You can't predict it. The other one, Leap of Faith, that one can be a little bit of a pain. But like Air Force One and Cliffhanger, easy. Easy peasy. 3Ks, easy. Every 15 minutes, there's always a gate that takes place. That's just simple. The Catch Potch, the one tickets, those are only like, you know, you can earn up like 3, like I think you can earn 10 up to 10, whatever. But it's just the little things, man. Nothing major. Dude, all an honest man can do is call it as he sees it. Thank you, man. Yeah, and that's the thing. I take my experience that I've done in with companies, like, and because I know it's like I used to do this like time and time again. Devs brought me in for reasons. I formed relationships with certain individuals based on, you know, my experience. And I didn't do anything spectacular other than, you know, saying, hey, here we have an issue here. I would get tools, you know, certain games had better tools and then others that allowed me to take a look at resolution of how the code was being processed and how the servers were functioning within, you know, my latencies. And there was a lot of different features depending on the projects. But I took that experience that I did and I put it forward, you know, and it was like there was something to it. And they took my recommendations and they implemented, even ZOS. I think everybody here can even say ZOS has taken some of my recommendations and has implemented that. And I don't want necessarily the credit, the associated credit to it or whatever. It's a team effort. And I don't feel like there's anything owed to me. It's for the benefit of the product. It's for the benefit of the community. It's a benefit of, you know, everybody that's put forward. So I'm just a very small person to say, hey, this is a problem, or this could be, you know, enhance this because of these factors. Whether or not you decide to utilize that's completely subjective. But at the end, I think it's a win-win. And that's all, man. I think we all can contribute something in that fact. We all can have something to contribute. But it has to be heard, right? It has to be understood. Now, practical application, suggestions and practical applications is two different elements, right? It's two different things. But at least I'm going to be honest. And nobody's going to ever say, oh, Mystic, you don't know what you're talking about. Bullshit. When some people are like, oh, it's not a server problem. Bullshit. Bullshit. Don't tell me, man. Doing this way longer than you probably have existed. Because some of them are really young. It's like, I've been doing this a long time, man. If I'm telling you it's on a server end, it's server end, man. I'm trying to help you. Don't contradict me and don't patronize me to believe that I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't do that. You know, I've been doing this longer than you. So please, for God's sakes, listen to the advice that I'm giving you. You know, because in the end, it's benefiting you. It doesn't benefit me. I can walk away from a game. I can walk away. It's only going to hurt your company. It's only going to hurt your investors. It's only going to hurt your consumers further. Just don't fucking patronize me. That's it. But hey, man, whatever. But thank you guys for the conversations. It's been great, man. Once again, I'm Mr. Craven. This is Mystics MMOs. Thank you guys for watching. And once again, and always, have a nice day.